Hey guys, it's Lainey here with Steel Strength Training. I'm the nutrition specialist here at Steel, and today we're going to talk about a common myth or misconception called the fat burning zone. All right, I'm really excited about this topic, and I'm excited to kind of dive into that, talk about where we go wrong, what's true about it, so on. So we have 5 different zones. We have the very light heart rate zone, the light heart rate zone, the moderate, the hard, and the very hard. So that very hard one, which is going to be 90% of your max heart rate, is going to be the super intense, and then we have your very light and then light. So your light is going to be 60 to 70% of your max heart rate, which is pretty easy. That's not very intense, it's not very hard, and that is considered your fat burning zone. Why that is, why do people say that's the fat burning zone? So there's some science behind it, but there's also a misconception behind it. The reason why they say it's the fat burning zone is because at that 60 to 70% heart rate max zone, you are burning fat for energy, okay? So the longer duration at the lower intensity, your body wants to use fat for energy. However, when you're sprinting or you're doing something high intensity for shorter periods of time, typically you're going to use carbs as your source of energy. So that's where kind of they get this idea from, that that's going to be your fat burning zone. And it is true that the type of energy source that you're using is fat at that percentage of heart rate in that fat burning zone. The misconception though is that if this is all you need to do is just that low intense, let's say it's walking, let's say it's the elliptical or whatever it is. So if you do the math on that, which I have done, the math for, let's say, a 20 minute person, a 20-minute workout, someone does 60 to 70% of their max heart rate, and they just do the elliptical or walk or something like that. Then there's another person who does a pretty intense workout. They're burning more calories per minute, and they also do it for 20 minutes. That would, if you do the math on that, the person who did the higher intensity workout is going to burn more calories for their workout than the person at the lower intensity. And so basically, the person who did the non-fat burning zone would burn more calories in the end. Yes, it would be from carbs as their source of energy, but they did burn more calories at the end because they're burning more calories per minute than the fat burning zone, that 60 to 70%. So what do we do with that information? So basically that means that if you do a very intense, shorter workout, that you are going to burn more calories per minute than you would burn doing a treadmill walk for however long, just because you're burning less calories per minute than the very intense. However, the thing with the fat burning zone is, yes, it works in terms of burning fat, but you have to do it a lot longer for you to burn more calories over time. So doing a very intense workout, you're going to burn more calories because you're burning more per minute, but it's generally shorter than you should be walking on the elliptical or walking on the treadmill for, if that makes sense. So the fat burning zone can work if you're trying to burn extra calories. Yes, it can work like I've talked about in the walking video. That's great. You're going to burn calories, but you're not going to burn more calories than you're going to burn doing a super intense workout. It's about your duration and it's about your intensity. So anyone who does an intense workout for longer is going to always burn more calories than the same amount of time for the lower intensity workout, if that makes sense. So make sure you're comparing your duration to your heart rate zone. It's not just about what zone you're in, it's about how long you're doing it in that zone, what zone are you in, and comparing the two things, the zone and the duration. So that would be my main kind of how do we make that make sense. What I do recommend is, I don't necessarily think that the fat burning zone doesn't exist, because it does, but it's not the magic sauce to lose weight. The magic sauce to lose weight is a calorie deficit. It doesn't matter how much fat burning you're doing. If you're not in a calorie deficit, you're not going to lose weight. You're not going to lose fat. Because let's say you burn a ton of fat. Well, guess what? If you eat terrible the rest of the day and the rest of the week, you gain that fat that you lost back. So it's about a calorie deficit, whether that's carbs, whether that's fat, whatever it is that you're burning, whatever deficit you're in is losing those pounds on the scale. It's not about what heart rate zone you're in to look the best you can. It's about a calorie deficit, which I've said before in almost every video. That's what I want to get in everyone's head. Think about the calorie deficit, and that comes from your eating and your exercise. Exercise is what's going to get you over the hump in terms of burning calories. The main benefits to exercise is not necessarily fat loss. It's health benefits of working out, high blood pressure, diabetes, obesity, you name it. Exercise is one of the number one prescription that your doctor should be giving you if you have any of those problems, as well as cholesterol. The other thing exercise does is that it changes your body composition. Specifically, weight training is what changes your body composition, and exercise also burns calories. So the money maker in terms of losing weight, like I've said before, is what you eat and what calorie deficit you're in. Your exercise in terms of fat burning is your icing on the cake, but it's not going to be the cause of you losing weight. The cause of you losing weight is a calorie deficit. So you need to be basically burning more calories than you're taking in to be in a calorie deficit to lose weight, if that makes sense. I hope it does. But yeah, I hope that kind of explains some misconceptions with that. So in my personal opinion, I recommend that you should exercise in most of the heart rate zones that you can. So it's good to be in a high intensity heart rate zone for some of the week, and it's good to be in a lower heart rate zone for part of the week. So if your cardio is walking and then your cardio is on the bike, going as hard as you can. Going hard as you can on the bike is going to be that close to that maximum heart rate zone, depending on how far you're going or how hard you're going. So I personally recommend trying to be in all the heart rate zones pretty regularly. Not saying you have to do that every day, but if you're training cardio, I think it's good to train all of the different zones, because your heart is a muscle and we want to train it like we're training our bodies and our muscles in our bodies, because we want it to be able to be strong long distance as well as those short bursts of energy that we need to, whether it's something super intense or whatever it is. So train your heart like it's a muscle, and just remember that at the end of the day, whatever social media says, we can trust and believe that calorie deficit is how we're going to lose weight. Don't waste your time with all these different myths and opinions of these people. This is the key to losing weight, this pineapple drink. Like, it's really not, guys. And I hate that it's not that, but it's true. Calorie deficit is the only thing that's going to cause us to lose weight. And all exercise, food, vitamins, focusing on your metabolism, sleep, all these things get us to that point, and those things add up to get to that calorie deficit. But that's the final straw of whether you're gonna lose weight or not. So don't be confused, guys. We need to focus on what is true and not get confused with all the gray areas in the fitness world, because it gets really gray really fast. So that's what I'm here for, is to help you guys understand what to focus on and what's just kind of white noise in the background to ignore. But I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I hope to see y'all in the gym soon. Finn says hey too. He's in his fat burning zone right now.